All right, all right. We're not ready for that. We're going to wait for a couple more people to come join in. I can see our blessed guest back behind stage. We got stories. We got stories. We got stories. Y'all know how I do. I am a complete brat. So, yes, I have been talking to this brother for umpteen months. I am so blessed and so fortunate to be able to have this interview with this brother. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Joe, love it. Joe, what's good, man? You always like the first on the scene, and I appreciate you being the first on the scene here. Love it. Will, my brother, my big brother. Oh, no, I did not just give you the salute. What part of the game is that, and where they do that at? Oh, I do not salute. Okay. You know, whatever. What it do? Sir Frankie, what's happening? What's happening with you, Sir Frankie? I'm gonna keep this going on in the background because the brothers' fragrances, they take you off to another realm, right? You want to be on the island somewhere. So yes, the goal is very intentional. The kimono is very intentional. The V-neck is a little short, and half of y'all are my brothers, so we ain't trying to get all up in there, you know. But yes, we got the S. So we're gonna keep it with the little island type of thing for a moment. So everything is very much intentional. You dig? Hey, hey. Sir Frankie, my guy. Will the Still, Joe. We're gonna keep letting folks come slide on in. We're gonna enjoy the old school reggae gold. That's what it is. It's reggae gold 1998. Yes, I am showing my age. Don't judge me. I have access to find out where you live. That's what it's gonna be. Okay. So I hope everybody's day was good. I hope everybody, had a very pleasant week. Mine was a little hectic, a little stressful. I'm glad, Frankie. I am so glad. I'm glad that you've been looking forward to this, and I hope that it's everything that you expected. If you have any, you know what, Will? See, I didn't want to do this already. I didn't. Already, Will. And that's precisely why we call this the corner, because I will put people in the corner. Always. I will put you in the corner. I can't. I was hoping that somebody would be a little, but why? Rock, what it do? What it do, Rock? I appreciate y'all for showing up. Big brother, mentor, Jason, what it do? Appreciate you. No, you not, Will. You absolutely will not. Lies and deceit. I want y'all to pay attention to the headband, right? Y'all see me any kind of way. The guests cannot see the roof. Looking like a bunch of spiders up here having a meeting. We ain't doing that. We ain't going to do that. We is not going to do that. And we're not going to take up too much of his time either. Because there is a time difference. We Eastern, he's Pacific, so he's been gracious enough to do this interview, to grant us some of this time. So let me cut this mess off, and I'm gonna stop waiting for people to roll in because we don't really do CP time over here. Oh my God, I can't. We're not gonna do that. So without further delay, I am going to introduce to some. I am going to present to others because I think some of you are familiar with the brother's work. Mr. Marquis Furlow.
What's going on?
What's happening, brother? What's happening? What's happening?
Good
Yay!
evening. How you doing, Miss
How
Mom?
are you? How are you?
I am blessed. I am grateful. I'm happy. How you
I
doing
love
today?
it. I'm doing pretty good. Today is a better day than this entire week has been. So,
All that
I'm doing
matters.
pretty good. I
All
am
that matters.
absolutely excited. Absolutely excited.
Me too.
Uh,
I'm honored to be your first guest.
yes, you are. Yes, you are. This
Yeah.
is my third live. You know how you want to jump out on that ledge and you want to, immerse yourself into things, but it's that fear. And I wanted to do this some years ago, but I'm going, this is a young person's game. What would I talk about? Like, don't nobody want to hear what I have to say, type of thing. But my community, my people, the encouragement, the love that's been shown, um, they just encourage me to go ahead and do it. I am definitely a novice to this fragrance space. I have been in this maybe 9 months. So yeah, I'm being tutored, I'm being mentored, I'm being coached, I'm being introduced to to see what I'm talking about. Like, and that's my first mentor right there. Look at him. Look at him. Acting up. Acting up. Acting up already. Well, it's oh my God. Okay. Joel, see, I didn't want to Joel, yeah. This is exactly why the show is called The Corner. Because I put people in the corner. There's different ways that you can interpret the corner. No, I will tell grown folks, go find a corner and stand in it. Think about your life choices.
Tell them how it is.
That's it. So, Marquise.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
call you Marquise. You also have another name, your first
Yeah.
name.
Yes.
Which do you prefer, Craig or Marquise?
I will respond to either. Most people call me Craig in my
Oh,
real life, but Marquise is also welcomed. So,
okay.
so you prefer?
Okay. So, for the purposes of this conversation, um, I'll use Marquise.
Okay.
Um, I started to say, "You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie." I started doing that.
I've been hearing that
So
since 1995.
exactly. And I do have, I use Simone is technically my middle name. So when, the other person comes out, my alter ego, that's when you need to be concerned. So I'm not even going to tell folks what that is because if they start to use it, they might piss me off and then I might forget that I love them.
Noted.
So we first got introduced, well, some of us first got introduced to your fragrance line through Aroma or Esteban.
Okay.
That was that the beginning of this year or was that the end of last year?
I want to say it's toward the beginning of this year.
Okay. Okay. And at that time, you had 4 in your collection.
Yes.
Okay. I want to go back.
You did your homework. Okay.
Yeah, I want to go back and I want to go back to Cali Suave. Now, is that a rename or is that its own individual fragrance?
That was just its own individual fragrance. It's funny because, as a perfumer, I also consider myself an artist, right? So in the creative process, your mind is all over the place. And, like when you have one idea or you're inspired by one thing, something else might develop from that. And being from California and being a self-proclaimed beach bum, Cali Suave was kind of birthed from Beau Suave, to be honest with you. It was meant to be a flanker, but it kind of took on a thing of its own. So that's what came of Cali Suave.
Okay. So Beau Suave came before Cali Suave or the other?
Beau Suave was the very beginning. It was the very first fragrance.
So there is a happy birthday or happy anniversary that needs to be said for Beau Suave.
Yes, 10 years. 10 years.
10 years.
Yes.
Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. Congratulations. So let's go to another. I'm sorry?
I said it doesn't seem like it. And it's been 10 years that I've been selling it, but it's actually older than that.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's go to again, we're gonna start way back in the time.
Take it back.
Let's talk about Magnificent. There is it's a square black bottle that has the label is Magnificent. I couldn't find any notes because I definitely dug for them. I'm sorry, Platinum.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Platinum. Talk to me about Platinum.
Well, as I previously mentioned, like when in the creative process, when you're tweaking and you're trying to come up with a particular fragrance, something else can come out of one of the formulas that takes on a whole nother thing, And what happened was during the tweaking process of Beau Suave, because that took about, I would say before I started to sell it, it was about 6 to 7 years. It was my very first fragrance, so it had a lot of faces. And in that process, birthed the Platinum formula. So initially, I was going to do a flanker of a nighttime version of Beau Suave. So that's initially what the inspiration was. And then as, the creative process, it just, again, it became something else. So right. Platinum was birthed from initially being a flanker of Beau Suave, a nighttime version of it. And that's what came Platinum. Okay. It's inspired by nightlife.
Okay. So there's one more fragrance, one more individual fragrance I'm going to ask you about, and then I'm going to ask you about two sets. Use. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Use. It's O-S-E.
Use.
Use.
Yes. Oh man, you really did. Ooh, man, I did not expect that one. Yeah.
I asked, is anything off?
Man, yeah. Hey, good job, Simone.
Thank you, beloved. Thank you. So tell us about now. Are any of these fragrances, are they coming back? Have you shelved them or anything?
You know what? To be honest with you, if it was up to me, I would release 20 fragrances. It's being a small business. It's not practical. And for me, I decided to pull back because I could create 10 fragrances in a week and put them all out. But for me, it's like I realized that I was biting on more than I can chew. Mm-hmm. And I decided that I wanted to pull back a little bit and choose my core fragrances, the ones that were the best sellers, if you will. And I decided to put those in the forefront and then put the other ones back into the vault. Tentatively, they may come back, they may not. Okay. Who knows? But Use was just another inspired fragrance. Okay. I call it the urban version of a Hollister or Abercrombie and Fitch. Like that was initially. I had the visual before I had the smell.
Sure.
So that's kind of what birthed that idea.
Okay.
But yeah, it was one of those things. I was inspired, and I created it, and I started to sell it. But again, it came when I released that. A little later down the line, I realized that I needed to pump my brakes a little bit and reevaluate, and figure out the direction I wanted to go in, just as a brand.
Sure.
And I just want people to focus on, or give each fragrance its own individual time.
Sure.
And you know what I'm saying? Give people a chance to live with them, and not release so many within a certain amount of time, if that makes sense. Yeah. And for me, it's like, again, I have a small team. It's like, I'm my hand is everywhere. Yeah. So, and I've been able to, and I also have a day job. So, it just wasn't practical, unfortunately.
Okay. And it's crazy because that is one of the previous scents, I'm going to call it a previous scent, that I was interested in because of how you described it. You described it as a fresh, citrusy, woodsy fragrance. I said, that might sound like something I need in my life. I might need that. That sounds like something a girl wants. But okay, I can absolutely understand that, because we as consumers, and we as, frag heads, addicts, whatever, some in the chat more so connoisseurs, we like what we like, we want what we like, but we also want to be, I want to say, on the cutting edge of those things that are not like everything or doesn't smell like everything else. And what I've noticed in the fragrances that I have of yours is you won't find anything that is offensive. You won't find anything where you can sit down and say, okay, now I see where this top becomes this heart or middle, or this middle becomes this base. The blend is, for lack of a better word, damn near perfect, Marquis. Like, it's very, okay, so today, and I'm gonna jump around. I have squirrel moments. Let me just let you know, I have squirrel moments. I'll jump.
You are good. Okay. You are good, Miss Simone.
Today was Beau Suave moment. That was just the way that I felt. I had on, a mustard t-shirt, Kendrick Lamar, that had the dude mustard yelling out, some cut up jeans. Yes, I did go to work. Don't judge my life choices. And I had on a black headband. But the Beau Suave brought everything together. It was one of those, is she in her office or is she not? Maybe I need to knock just a little gently because I don't know the mood she in. Very good. Message well received. You got the very good. I love it. And that's how everybody, that was the intended purpose. Now, your fragrances, you want to evoke an emotion and a memory. And I remember you mentioning that in your creation of Beau Suave, you knew that you had it right when you were doing yard work with your dad, and your dad asked you, what were you wearing? What were some of your other creations that evoked a strong memory?
Oh, man. Give me a second.
Take your time, brother. While you're thinking about it, I'll go to the chat and acknowledge some of the other guys that came in. Jelani is in the chat. What's happening, Captain?
How you doing, my brother?
Thanks for stopping in, Jay. I know you are probably on your way to the gym and such. I appreciate you.
Can I think my response would be, it would be more general. Okay. I would say everything that fragrance, obviously it's like I said, evokes, it's a memory. It takes you back to a time, right? There's been moments like the fragrances that I have that I did years ago that takes me back to the time that time, you know what I mean? Whether I was, sleeping on a couch, I've gone through some hard times, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I think just generally speaking, I would probably say Mas La Creme and Les Marquis. These fragrances particularly because they were inspired by one another. So I felt like during that time when I was creating a Mas La Creme, I was inspired. I was in my 30s. I felt for the first time like I was coming into my own as a man. You know what I mean? And feeling more confident. And I foresaw what I wanted to be and what I wanted Marquis Furlow to be. And that's what I think about when I smell a Mas La Creme. Like, okay, you're coming into your own. You know what I mean? And I want, if that makes sense, that's what it reminds me of. Like, it was a time where I felt like a light bulb went off. Like, this is who I am and this is who I want to be. You know what I mean? And the Mas La Creme was inspired by the ambitious man. Yeah. So.
So since you brought up Mas La Creme, some of the notes are black tea, Italian bergamot, juniper berries, Cuban tobacco, black pepper, blackwood, oak moss, vanilla beans, and suede. Now, we talked about, or you mentioned the dichotomy between Mas La Creme and La Marquise, whereas La Marquise means nobleman, and you refer to it as, or you want it to speak more so towards the nobility or the humanity, the inner qualities of the man. How did you decide to use similar notes, or why did you decide to use similar notes in both of those fragrances when to anyone else one would seem to be the precursor to the other, if that makes any sense?
Right. What made me decide to use similar notes? Again, it goes back to the inspiration. Mas La Creme was first, and I was inspired, by the ambitious man. I wanted whoever wore this to feel like they can achieve and conquer anything. I pictured a man in a suit, a brother, walking down the street, and he's on top of the world. But I do believe that you need both sides. You need both sides of the coin. You want to have all of that, but you also want to make sure that your inner coin and your inner being is always right.
Sure.
And for me, I felt like, how do I explain this? Sometimes as an artist, it's like, how do I explain my method? It wasn't, the goal. Like, I want to use similar notes for Les Marquis. It was more of a feeling, to be honest with you. And Mas La Creme is about, the go-getter. Since Les Marquis was about your internal, I decided, okay, let's use similar notes, but let's scale back on the more bolder notes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I want them to have similar DNA, but I want them to say different things.
Sure.
If I explain myself.
Sure. I'm getting a sense of one is I'm on the way, the other is I've arrived.
Yes.
Okay.
And
okay.
Sorry.
He who is chosen, he who is extraordinary. Does that statement mean anything to you?
Are you asking what does it mean to me?
Yes. In regards to one particular fragrance. Now I'm having another squirrel moment, so I went back again.
Man. You quizzing me. Does that mean anything to me? Are we talking about one that did not get released? Is it Gen X?
There we go.
You really did your man. You got me on the spot.
So Give me the story behind Gen X. I was looking for that one.
Listen,
because that alone, he who is chosen and he who is extraordinary can have so many different meetings. So it can be so multifaceted that it aligns directly with, I want to call it your mission statement on your website. So I definitely want to hear the story behind that one.
well, Gen X is still, I would say, underdeveloped.
Okay.
It was birthed from, again, it's just me as a Black man here, in this country of ours. I just feel like we are often underestimated, and I don't want to get too much into that, but for me,
you're in a safe space. Please go ahead. Everybody in the chat is definitely, you're in a safe space. Please.
Yes, I just feel like as Black men, we are made to be the villain, and our power can be very intimidating, but that the whole concept of I'm not going to apologize for being chosen.
I love it.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to apologize for my power.
I love it. You
know what I mean? So that was the concept. Gen X,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm glad you brought that up, because I do intend to release that at some point, but yes, that's the inspiration, is this, the powerful Black man.
Okay. I love it, because I so didn't take it that way. I took it the generational. Like, I'm going, okay, so I think we're about the same age so I'm going, okay. But now I love your explanation even more so. So I want that one too. Just to let you know. Just to let you know.
You got it, Miss Simone. Man, I was not that one.
So to give you guys a little background, for those of you who just come in, I was introduced to Marquis Furlow's fragrances when he did his interview on Aromas live. And at this time, there were 4 fragrances. He has since now come out with Isla. And y'all saw me ripping this open like a complete savage.
You done some damage.
What? I did what? Say it for the people in the back. I did what?
You done some damage, Miss Simone.
She wears her fragrances. Yeah, she do. If it walk like it does, and it quack like, I'm going to tell you if I like it or if I don't. If it ain't no dent in it, it gets nowhere in this house. So I had asked Mr. Marquis Furlow, reached out to him like, hey, brother, do you make oils for natural hair? This is how the association started. And this was back in January or such. And I'm going, wait a minute, I want to support the brother, but I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to buy something and So that's how we got here. And the brother just continued to remember, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still here. I hadn't forgotten it. So we got the discovery set, and I shared the discovery set. And now Isla is a part of the discovery set, to where we have the more current releases. And now let's touch on those. So we talked about Beau Suave. Yeah, I have her. Yeah, she got a little dent in her too. Oui. Yeah, she gets worn too. So Beau Suave. We have Caribbean rum, coconut water, sage leaf, tonka bean, a tea-nicey bit of gardenia, amber, clove, sandalwood, coconut, and teak wood. And I'm probably drawn to this one more so because of the coconut and the teak wood. I'm a sucker for teak wood. I am a sucker. Every candle in my house, in my bathroom, whatever, is a teak wood candle. Everything. And it's seen as, and I don't know why, it's seen as a masculine scent or has a masculine aroma. I just think it's comforting. So, I know when I go to Bath and Body Works, I call it man in a candle. Call it what you like, but it's comforting for me. But this baby right here, and I think I told you this before. These two
layered.
Together. 911, what's your emergency? We got a problem. We got a problem. And I'm completely here for it. Oh, she shows up and she shows out. She shows up and she shows out. So, Beau Suave anniversary. And guys, pay attention to the marquee scrolling, marquisfurlow.com. Go take a look on the website. Please support the brother. Prices are ridiculously reasonable. Ridiculously reasonable. Now, I will tell you that Marquis caters to you numbnuts. Isla is his only feminine fragrance. And according to him, this will be the queen of his collections. Hey, Esteban. Isla will be the only labeled feminine fragrance. Everything else will be men catered or unisex. Am I right, Marquis?
You're right on the money.
Well, I'm trying to tell you, baby. I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. I'm gonna make it do what it do. So,
you make it do what it do.
Talk to me about Isla. And I know Isla is a re-release. She was originally out in 2019. Talk about that one.
Yes, Isla was birthed because I kept getting when are you going to release a perfume? When you're going to release a perfume? When you're going to release perfume for women? So I obliged, and I said, okay, let me create a perfume. So the inspiration was, I called it the answer to Beau Suave. Ironically, that's why I thought to myself, like, let me get I'm a female version of Beau Suave. So ironically, that's why I thought it was funny when you layered it. I'm like, wow, because the notes were inspired from Beau Suave, believe it or not. But it's a more feminine take on Beau Suave. Yeah. So now it makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
And then the name Isla, I always thought it was a beautiful name. And the theme thematically it's about beauty and about serenity and vacation. I wanted women to feel beautiful when they wore it. And it to be another clean fragrance. And for me, like I'm like I said, I'm a beach bum at core. So you're gonna get the beach somewhere.
Look at the atomizer. Look at the like you're gonna get
yeah. All of that.
Yeah. You're gonna know that you're spraying it. It's not like you ain't gotta spray it and then go catch it. You're gonna spray it and it's gonna land with
it's gonna grab you.
It's that part. I call it put it in the yolk. Put them in the yolk. That's what it's supposed to do. This is so nice. This is beautiful, Marquis.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is beautiful. She is beautiful. I have a gold pedestal behind me, and I keep her on it. Sade, shut up. This is absolutely beautiful. Oh, and in case you guys are wondering what the box looks like, yeah, I keeps her. And she comes with some flowers in the inside of the box too. Presentation matters. You did this.
Yes, ma'am.
You did this. So without me like making a mess, but the little rose petals, the box was in the fragrance was in between all of the little flower petals, the magnolias and stuff. And she was sitting in here all luscious and pretty, like just surrounded by everything, just waiting for somebody to rip her open and have a party. So that's what I did. I ripped her open.
And just to emphasize, the plumeria that's the flower. That's the.
So it's not a magnolia. It's a plumeria.
Yeah, but for me, it's the plumeria is the island flower, so that's
Okay.
why there's emphasis on the plumeria, and that's kind of why it's incorporated around or into the artwork.
Okay. So I've been saying the wrong thing. I've been saying the wrong flower. I've been thinking they said magnolia and it's a plumeria. Okay.
It's all love.
Thank you, baby. I'm tweaked out. I'm sitting up here trying to put that thing in the doggone headband. That's crazy. But okay. So Isla is essentially the sister, or you might call her the spouse to Beau Suave. I love it. I love it, and I love how your mind works. So I'm gonna have another squirrel moment, right?
Okay.
You're an artist by nature. So
Mhm.
before you found fragrance, what was your other mode of creativity?
Oh man. Well, that was the thing. I think I was just kind of floating. I started, in school. I was very much into drawing and creating books and of just comic books and all kind of things. And then I got into um, singing and music, and I feel like my hand was everywhere, to be honest with you. I got into modeling and acting and trying to find my niche, and then there was graphic design and editing. And then when I wandered upon perfuming,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was when, I knew that this was what my outlet was supposed to be for, creating.
Sure, sure.
I've dabbled in everything, but I always said I dabbled in everything, but this was the one thing that I never put back down.
Sure. I can definitely see the modeling influence because you know how to capture the light. In
Oh, thank you.
every photo that you take, you look to see where the light is, and you angle whether it's a headshot, a complete, full body shot. You're definitely making sure that you're in the best frame of light. So you answered my next question, like, was there ever any modeling experience? Yeah, you can see
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
You can absolutely see it. So your dad was involved in chemistry, I should say. He created some things, and we could say, for lack of a better word, was your first level of introduction into like fragrances or creams and
I
such.
would say he was one of the seeds that was planted. He was one to plant one of the seeds. He worked for a company called Gar Labs,
Mhm.
and he used to bring home like lotions and his self-made fragrances and things like that, things that he had concocted at work. So that I feel like also encouraged the passion
Mhm.
for this.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm trying to think of the name of the movie because the next question I'm going to ask you is literally derived from the movie. When did you fall in love with fragrance?
I think the definitive moment.
Mhm.
Um, it was during the time that I was living in Miami.
Okay.
This was about 2014-ish, and
Okay.
I was by myself out there. It was my first time living in a new state,
Mhm.
and I didn't. When you live in a new state, you go through a whole lot of different emotions and valleys and peaks. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like just trying to meet people and find your way.
Sure.
But I had, my dream was to get this fragrance right. Beau
Mhm.
Suave wasn't Beau Suave quite yet,
Okay.
but just going through the metamorphosis of that experience,
Mhm.
and not knowing at the time, just collecting all this inspiration, like walking through my neighborhood and seeing coconuts on the
Mm.
lawn of, like I'd never seen anything like that before from being from California.
Right.
And
Right.
the smell of, just for me, it was just so many things. But
Mhm.
I just remember every day tweaking this fragrance and going to work and asking coworkers to smell this. And, like after a while, everybody that has been a part of this journey knows, like, Craig gonna ask you to smell something, but I feel like that was the moment where I knew, like, this is what I was supposed to be doing, and then shortly after that is when I finally launched Beau Suave, my first fragrance in 2016.
Now, your fragrance has physically been in stores or in a store.
Yes. What happened was, this was a few years ago. There was a store in the mall, one of the local malls that catered to indie and local artists. And I just stumbled across one day just from being in the mall. And I spoke to the manager, and one thing led to another, and bam, I had a spot in the store. He opened up another store in another mall, and I ended up going to that one as well. But I have to be transparent. I mean, it was, while the experience of being in the mall, it's, on the surface was amazing, because it was just something I had never experienced before and never thought I would, at least not till later in life. But the experience on the other flip side of that was not the greatest, because I didn't consider it. Retail is a monster. I worked retail when I was younger.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, with this kind of setup or that kind of, everybody, it was a bunch of different artists. It wasn't catered to just to clothing, or it was a lot of different things going on in the store. And they had store reps, but, the store reps weren't that concerned about anything other than just being paid. I would just say that.
Wow.
So I would come to check on my stuff, and it would be disheveled, or things would be stolen, and so that's kind of, that was the experience. Unfortunately, I just realized that, okay, if I want to do retail one day, it has to be the right venue, and it has to be. And I learned also that there's a reason why fragrances in the in Nordstrom's or what have you, they're behind the counter, and there's a rec that's literally, designated to that. So lesson learned, but it was a good experience overall.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that experience turned out to be, not the greatest, because when I started doing my research, I'm going, wait a minute, brother is in the shop. Look at him walking into the store, and you can fit. I said, okay, brother has arrived, but now they hear the other side of that coin. To hear the other side of that coin, it's kind of like, you rat, man. Like, why don't you take care of the brother's stuff?
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't have any regrets about it, because on the surface of that, like, what you saw in that video was real. Like, I'm like, wow, people can walk in the mall and see my stuff right there. That if anything gave me more inspiration and more motivation. Okay, this is a piece of what could be.
Sure.
Just in a better situation later.
So, the one fragrance that we have not even touched upon was Signature.
Yes.
Now, when I ordered the Discovery set, I just knew that Signature was going to be the one that I was not going to like. Because
before you smelled it?
Yeah. That's typically, I know what I like. I know the notes. Well, I'm learning the notes that I'm pretty drawn to. And Signature is one of the ones that I kept. So I still have Signature, because there is something about Signature. I have to find the right opportunity to wear him. Notice I said him, right? Signature is it's definitely a head turner, but it invites that mystery, because you have to be, in terms of being a woman, you have to be a confident woman to wear Signature. So let's get to the notes. We have sweet orange, black tea, juniper berries, tobacco leaf. It's the tobacco. Dang it. It's the tobacco.
It's my favorite note, if you haven't noticed.
It's the tobacco leaf. Oak moss, bay leaf, black pepper, nutmeg, oud, spices, chocolate, and brown sugar. Oh yeah. You got my favorite note in here. One of my favorites anyway.
What is it?
Chocolate.
And that was new for me.
Oh,
so
this is spicy. This is yeah. You get yeah. You have to know who you are to rock signature. Yeah.
Which is
Esteban says somebody say tobacco. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Signature is not is
I see you
there is no faulty fragrance. There's things that I prefer because I know me, right? And I know what works well on my skin. And that's Signature, Beau Suave, Isla.
Okay.
Surprisingly, it's Signature. That was a pleasant surprise.
Surprised you.
That was a pleasant surprise. I wasn't ready. It was a pleasant surprise. What was the thought process behind Signature?
It's just another piece of the tapestry. It's just it was inspired by passion. If you connect all of them, you have Mamas La Creme, which is inspired by ambition. Les Marquis is poise and humility. Then you have passion. They all correlate, and it was inspired by my journey. I believe you can't do anything well if you don't have a passion for it. And that's what inspired that fragrance. And it's a play on words. It's signature. It's like, is your signature scent every day? I wear that almost every day, but believe it or not. So that's what inspired Signature.
I have this thing at work and it's completely inappropriate and I really don't care. If I smell and I don't do it as much when I'm out in the public, but I get this thing where if I smell somebody or I smell something, I will go ask them or tell them, you smell fabulous. That sillage is kicking. What are you wearing? And I'll start a conversation. There's this one girl that I work with that I will actually walk up to her and sniff her shoulder blade. And I'm like, yo, that smells good. What is this? And she'll just laugh at me. And I'm like, I know I don't have any type of boundary when it comes to you. And I really don't care because you're not going to tell me to leave you. But what is it that you're wearing? Like, just
you are literally you're my spirit animal because I can't. just completely like no boundary, like no, but I know people better not do it to me. That's the problem. I can do it to them. Don't You're
do
the person you'll do what people want or say what people won't.
Absolutely.
And they might be thinking it.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna absolutely say it. Now, depending upon who you are, and I will have read the room to determine who you are, will determine how gently I say it. If you're a powder puff, I might, be delicate in my approach. No, but if you're the type that like to throw rocks and hide hands, whatever way it come out is the way it's gonna come out. So wear that.
I heard that.
Wear that. But this is so nice. I wonder what these two like smell like. I wonder what Signature and Isla smell like together. I haven't tried it. Okay, why did I just smell the damn bottle? See? Problems. Sade, get out. That's my cat. Sorry. And her name is rightly so Sade because she keeps talking. So we have a question from Esteban. Will we see Marquis Furlow in any boutiques in Los Angeles? There's quite a few in LA, a new one in Laguna, and one in Carlsbad. Did I pronounce that right?
Carlsbad, yeah. First of all, good evening, Mr. Esteban, my brother. I don't know. I think, based off of what I mentioned about my first experience in a store, it's kind of made me skeptical, to be honest, about doing retail again or being in another store, because I'm extremely OCD as well, and presentation is everything to me. And for me, I just don't know what that would look like right now. But I'm not opposed to it completely. I don't know, if I'm being transparent.
So, in keeping with my squirrel moments, we've talked about your discovery set.
What else you pulling out?
Which we've touched about each of the 5 fragrances. But Homas Le Crème Intense, that is the correct word flanker? Or
yeah, that's correct. No, it's flanker. Yeah.
So tell us about the original.
So the original was Homas Le Crème 1985. That was the first one. It was a lighter, fresher, let's say, version of the scent, even though it was first. How do I say this? When we released the flanker, so obviously the flanker was inspired by the original. It was inspired to be richer and stronger and more present, right? That got a lot more attention than the original, even though the original, was one of my favorites. I just decided in narrowing down what was going to go into the core set, that Homas Le Crème Intense was the better of the two. But 1985 was just, I would say it was a fruitier, fresher version of Intense, lighter.
I can't put down Signature. Signature is really good. It is really good. You know what I
think for me, Signature.
Go ahead.
The dry down is my favorite part. Yeah. The dry down is literally my favorite part of Signature.
Yeah.
It's the fusion of that, those spices and chocolate and oh man, it's just a match made in heaven. That is,
what I'm envisioning, and I need for you to stay with me now because you like fashion, okay? I'm envisioning a double-breasted tailored men's suit for me. Vest included, right? 2 splits on the side. Of course, with some pumps and my hair straight back. Boy, if you don't stop playing these games. With some diamond studs. No, I don't need a necklace on, maybe a watch with this Signature. That's it. It's that final layer.
That final layer.
It's that final layer, that final accoutrement.
Right on the nail.
Oh, I like this. Oh, I'm about to do something for the people with this one. Oh, fall, I'm about to kill them with this. And I'm going to blame you. I'm going to blame it all on you.
I'll take it.
I'm going to blame it all on you. Oh, this is lovely. Okay, so there was a time where you had a gift set. I want to say it was either last year or the year before that, where it was the King Deluxe set. Do you still have that, or is that gone bye-bye? Okay.
That was a Christmas limited edition thing where I included everything, full-size bottles, in one big gift set.
Okay.
So to remain transparent, I'm still on the fence about what I'm going to do this year for the holidays.
Okay.
How can I incorporate, everything? Do I want to do the full bottle? Do I want to do something else? I try to do something different every year. Like this past year, we did the body butters. So I don't know I haven't finalized what
Okay.
this holiday season is going to incorporate, but we'll see.
Okay. That was going to lead me to the next question about your body butters, because I did see body butter Beau Suave. I was kind of hoping that Beau was still in the body butter.
Yeah, so those did well. Those did well too. Again, it goes back to is just not biting off more than I can chew. I mean, obviously, selling out and selling a lot is good trouble, but I also believe in quality and the service and making sure that customers get their packages in a timely fashion. And for me, it's like being able to control everything.
Right.
Again, I'm not opposed to bringing them back. Everything has to be right, to be honest with you.
Sure.
So and creating them, like, because I do create them, it's again quality over anything else. It's a lot that goes into that.
Right. Now I know you're the creator, the founder, and the perfumer. Is there anyone else on your team that helps you with this?
Yes. Okay. There's a team of 3 of us.
Okay.
But I am the core.
Okay. Okay. So I think this will probably be my last question for you, Mr. Craig Marquis Furlow. How soon can you get Gen X out here to the people? Well, primarily to me. I could care less about the people. How soon can I get it? How about that? Yes, I would love to. Yes, put it on a website. Oh, and aside from that, again, guys, the Marquis, the website, when you talk about reasonable pricing, like, come on now. We out here spending upwards of $130 for like a 30 ml. Marquis, how much are your bottles on your website?
I mean, we're middle of the road between $55 and $65, and they're all perfume concentrated. So
you can't beat that. You really cannot beat. And these are solid fragrances that last all day. Like, if you need a fragrance that's going to last 10 hours a day, what is you doing outside for 10 hours anyway? What are you doing? Like, a fragrance should at least get you past lunchtime. By that time, you're sleepy, you're ready to go home and go to bed, take clothes off anyway. And that's exactly what these get you. You'll get at least, I get at least 7.5, 8 hours. And that's probably because I bathe and I moisturize. I'm not saying too much and nothing much, about nobody else's habits. But yeah, why do y'all need 10 to 12 hour fragrances? This does the job. Completely reasonable. Between $50 to $65. Completely.
And I did want to say, as it pertains to Gen X, or any new fragrance, I'm kind of at that point now. I'm kind of on the fence if I release another one, because what happens is when I release a new fragrance, the discovery set grows bigger, and then obviously grows more expensive, right? For me, it's what I'm on the fence about is do I go in that direction, or do I rotate one of the fragrances out and put a new one in, and do that, you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess that would be a good question for the audience. Like, I don't know.
Well, it seems, and again, this is just someone who loves your fragrances, right? Your fragrances, they not only have the external value to you, you matter. You make sure that the individual's spiritual basis is covered, that humanity is covered. So I think the question becomes, if you do decide to replace one of those fragrances in your discovery set, what's that quality that you're removing? What are you removing from somebody's thought process, and then what are you replacing it with? Did that make sense?
No,
So
no. How will the new one tie in with the rest of them?
exactly right. If
So
you're
that's
going to remove ambition, you need to put something just as powerful, just as meaningful as that.
well. It's funny you say that because that's always a part of the thought process. It's all the way around.
Mhm,
And I think for me, and this is just me talking,
mhm.
if I were to rotate anyone out, ironically, it might chop my head off, but it was going to be Signature. Like,
At
I
this point,
mean,
I would say take out Isla. I
but
honestly would.
but the problem is with Isla, it's the only female perfume, so there's a need, a place for her, um, I feel like Signature can be rotated. It could
Okay.
come back. But
Okay.
Ambition,
Right.
Les Marquis, like all those things, like they're all connected.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Signature is that floating one. I feel like if I were to release another fragrance, I could definitely switch that one out.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. So Aroma has a question. Will
yes.
you be making an appearance at any fragrance events in the near future?
Mr. Esteban, I would like to. It seems like you guys are more than know than I am. I'm going to be very honest. I'm not very good at scouting out these things and keeping up to in the know about any of those things. I actually learned about one of the last ones through Esteban,
Mm.
but I would definitely like to make an appearance at some point. For me, I think it would be a good experience. So I don't know if that answers
So
your question, brother, but
even if you
um,
just go to take in the site, Scent Explorer is in November.
it's an explorer. Okay,
So I'll
I will
send you the website and stuff just so you can even just look on the website and see what that is. Yes,
yeah,
I'm going. So I would love to see you.
yeah, absolutely. I would love to meet all
um,
you guys.
this is okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about you taking Signature out because I'm not feeling that. I'm a brat. I am a listen to me trying to tell you how to run your business. I am a complete brat. No,
But
you
this
can't be
is
taking Signature out because this is nice.
but for me, it's like you can imagine. Like I go back and forth even more so, and it's hard, to. But again, you hit it right on the nail. Though it has to have a purpose,
Right. Right.
and has to make sense, and correlate with the rest of them.
Right.
So again, if I had to choose, if you really look at every single one of them, like, Signature definitely would be the one, that could be a rotator.
Well, brother, I mean, I love it. I love your line. I love the direction, and having had this opportunity to talk to you, to know that not only are you invested in the fragrances and how they, make people feel, you're also invested in the message behind your fragrances. I love your line even more. I love it even more. And I respect your craftsmanship even more. Um,
Thank
so I'm
thank
still waiting on that oil for natural hair, you know, just trying
you.
to throw
Okay,
that out there and everything.
that's on the list.
Okay, thanks. Would still love that Beau Suave body butter, I just can't say that enough. Yeah, I'm completely self-absorbed. I could care less about everybody else. The gift sets that are travel size, do you still have those?
The Discovery set.
Was that was the question? Did the travel size? When I hear travel size, I think of 15 mil.
Oh, well, you're right, but well, well, it's okay. So the discovery set, is a discovery set, but
Yeah,
on the flip side of that, they're big enough to be considered a travel size.
they are.
Um, that's what makes it not traditional, in the sense of discovery sets. Most of them are small.
Right.
But funny you say that. That was one of the ideas I was thinking about for the holidays, is
Okay.
introducing an actual travel size, not discovery set, but actual gift set with either 15 ml or 1 ounce,
Okay. Nice.
travel size sprays.
Nice.
So that's on the table too. So
Nice.
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. So this is, I said that was probably going to be my last question, but I lied. And this is really,
Y'all still
really,
with us?
they're here, but they like to get involved in their own. And then we have a lot of people. We're all across the states in terms of time zones. So we do have some brothers
Okay.
that are just getting off of work. There's not too many women in this cul-de-sac per se, but there's a lot of brothers here. So they come in, they go, they're driving, they're working, they're multitasking, if you will. So you're a fan of French perfumery. You like Versace. How has, or is there a correlation between when you lived in Miami, Versace, and any perfumes that you've created thus far?
Is there a correlation between, you said,
Miami, Versace, and any of the fragrances that you've created?
I would say subconsciously,
Okay.
not intentionally. Um, it was just from my lived experience and my love of, living in Miami and European culture and French culture. I think all of
I'm
that is just
listening, but I gotta get her the hell out of here. She's getting on my nerves. I'm
okay.
listening. Keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, I think all of those things have inspired um, my fragrances in some way. Like I said,
Wow.
unintentionally, for sure.
Okay.
Like I'll just use Mas La Creme as an example. If you look like, well, the gift set box for the holidays had the Eiffel Tower on the back of the
Mm-hmm.
box.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of Paris, I think of luxury. I think of
Mm-hmm.
The early days of fine fragrance. That's what I thought about. That's what
Mm-hmm.
inspired, or was part of the inspiration. So yeah, I think living in Miami, and if you've been in Miami, you go to the to South Beach and walk past the Versace mansion, and there's an energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I call it a sexy town. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But there's something very luxurious about the atmosphere, you know, or just being out there. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would say all of that has inspired every one of my fragrances for sure.
So, Marquise, I think I've delved into pretty much every part of,
You've cleaned me out.
there is one journey that I did not. I want to make sure that you got on. It's a 3-hour time difference. You made sure to fit me in your schedule. I want to get all of the information that I can. I'm nosy.
No, that's fine.
I'm a social worker by trade, so I'm nosy.
I'm flattered.
I'm an investigator. I got to find all of the information. There was one time frame that was intriguing. Nah, you already touched on it. You already touched on it. I'm not going to have you be a broken record. Now you're intrigued.
You opened the can.
Now you're intrigued. But you already touched on it. It literally was about, it was around the time that when I asked about your dad and when he was working and when you first started your fragrance journey. So I was going to ask you about 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a very pivotal time in my life. I was renting a room.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of moments and, smells that take me back, like I still have 2 bottles of Everclear of grain alcohol.
Oh,
that was because back then, they for do yourself first time perfumers, they encourage you to use that as a carrier for your perfume. So I went to Bevmo. I was going to Bevmo and I was buying them and I was putting my concoctions in them. So when I first started perfuming, I was renting a room. So I was in my room putting all kind of shit together, and some stuff smelled really bad. But I have the 2 bottles from that time in my life. I still have them. They 2 different smells. I don't know what the hell I put in them, but they still have their smell from 2009. And they still have the label Everclear on them, but those moment in my life, that was the very beginning. And I always tell myself one day maybe they'll be in a museum or something. I don't know, but I keep them.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of where I've been and where I started.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. A nostalgic moment. See, I should have asked you that because now we're bringing this to a close. We came full circle. I love that. So we started off with how you and I became associated and me asking you and begging you for some natural hair care stuff into actually the essence of how you actually started in the sacrifices that you made, the lessons that you've learned with your nostalgic moment. So I love it. Okay. We have another question. So Jelani wants to know, does each fragrance you have in a discovery set take you to an appointed time in your life? And then he says you may have already touched on it.
Oh, yeah. I'd say every single one of them reminds me of where I was. I feel like fragrance, it's so, in so many ways, parallel to songwriting and music, notes. You building a fragrance is like writing a song in a way.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes from, what's going on in your life at that moment, and since I can only create from being inspired and emotion, every single one of them takes me back to a time in my life. Like Beau Suave, I would say, is for me, since it was the first one and it took so long to refine, being young and going through the motions of living in my car and, sleeping on couches and that kind of thing. Like, absolutely. Like I all of that is in that fragrance for me.
Wow. You definitely have, you definitely have a story to tell, and the story comes across in your fragrances. And again, had I not been fortunate enough and blessed enough to sit down and actually hear about the processes, I would have just taken your fragrance for granted, to just enjoy the finished product and not know the approach, the process, and the sacrifice behind them. Brother, I thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I thank you for accepting that first message some months ago. I thank you for answering every time that I have messaged you and said, don't forget about me. I'm in the middle of doing X, Y, and Z, but I do want the discovery set. Thank you so much for trusting me with this interview, and just being open and honest, and answering all of these questions, and letting me be as nosy as humanly possible.
No, the pleasure was all mine. I can honestly tell you, I've never met anybody like you. And I mean that in the best possible way. Thank you for being so supportive. And
Thank you.
for me, I never take this kind of support and love for granted. And I say this also to the people that are in this chat. I recognize some of you. Thank you guys for liking my post and reposting and purchasing. I don't take any of this for granted. And I just want to honestly say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Gentlemen, ladies, if ever you catch this on the replay, Marquis Furlow, thank you so much, brother. Hang tight for me. I'm going to put you in the back. Let me get rid of these little knuckleheads, and then we'll chop it up a little bit more.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Okay, you little apple heads. Thank y'all so much for joining. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Put. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. I tried to, be as formative as I could, get a little jokey in, whatnot. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I love y'all. Thank you, Jay. I'll continue to pray for y'all. Pray for yourselves. Pray for one another. Peace and blessings, beloveds. Oh, that's crazy. I gotta find another way to exit this shit, because that was just much. Okay, love y'all. Bye.